Hey Zack. It's a fellow's not here today, so Zack is next to me. He does like to move. Because if he doesn't move, he's a bad science writer too. He doesn't work. He makes me do all the work. It's really sad.
Because then your eyes, your sight and smell can affect how things like taste.
You don't have to.
Due to other senses. So how come? I drink water. I didn't start water.
Do you just call me your guy? Yeah, he's not screaming. He's whispering. No, his normal voice is loud. Let him go.
No, it's just because that's your normal voice. No, it's just because.
No. It's actually no. Put your head back.
It's totally not how.
This video is gonna be called Zack bullying Aaron.
That was like 25,000 decibels lower than like when you answer a question.
That is definitely not loud. That's quite mad.
Oh, right.
I can do quick math.
Then do it. What's 2 million times 3,165?
3,165.
365.
360.
12,689 times 365.
That's not quick maths.
Yeah, it is. Smart who?
Smart me. Yes. What is it?
It's like, wait, let me think. It's 45,280. I remember my own question. I knew it was times 65. Wait, 300.
Seriously. 12,000. It's about 12,000. So 12,000 times 600. Or
36,000. Around 36,000. So it'll be, no, Zachary.
300? It would be.
Oh. It would be 36 million. Wait. 360,000. No. 3,600,000.
Take 12,000, alright? Add 2 zeros onto that.
12,000.
1,200,000, okay? 1,200,000. Alright? That's about where it is, okay?
Okay, he thinks he's smarter than me. She's not even an NJHS. Like, what the heck? Zoom. Wait. Don't ever say that. You didn't show up to the Halloween party because you forgot.
Because I did forget.
That it's such a lot.
I told my mom Friday night. I forgot we have a Halloween party. And mom said, where? She said, oh, it's, I don't know, it's somewhere.
Friday night, the day of the party,
What photo?
of you
Of me? Doing what?
in a video, and I screenshotted it.
The video I made in broadcast.
We're also neighbors.
What time is class on that? I'm going to the bathroom.
That's the first fully ball came from.
See, how's it going? How are we getting anything done on your face? And I'm like, pretty bad? Why?
Because I'm stuck on this one. It's close. Wait, this one. I think you also have to describe why. You also use process of elimination to justify why. But this one is Oh wait, does it have to play on the
So it gives you, once you do wind, water, and animals. So this one's gonna care about the wind. So we're gonna use one or the other, but water and
Alright, I'll take water.
No, I got
Flower could produce fruit, flowers, flowering plants that are like fruit, all the arrows of water seeds and plants have a little bit.
brush, it's like little stickers.
Alright, I'll take over.
process of elimination?
I have to read about the male pollen.
Yeah.
We're not just like this stuff that gets done.
Zach.
Do you have this one?
Zach. That math class over there is so dumb. They're talking about basketball players or something like that. You saw nothing. Nothing.
Alright, real quick. How
Tab over.
do seedless plants reproduce?
Oh.
They don't make seeds, right? Seedless. So how do they reproduce? We all just read about it. So I read. Alexa?
Okay, so the seedless ones, so like the wind can carry them away.
Carry water.
But
they're seedless. They don't got seeds. They're seedless. So let's go back real quick. So we said before that the seed, girls in the back, can you join this conversation? The seed is the product of sexual reproduction in flowering plants, right? Okay, but these are plants, these are weird little guys that don't have seeds, right? Like in the picture right here, they don't have a flower to produce seeds. They're like little low-lying things. They usually live in moist environments. That should give us a clue.
The spore.
They produce something called a spore, right? What happens to the spore? Yeah? Travels in the water, right? So these are things like moss, that kind of stuff, right? Like we see it like little green moss, kind of like a slime. It's not an algae, right? So it can easily be confused. Girls, I don't know what you're looking at, but over here. It can easily be confused with an algae, right? But a moss is not an algae, it's a little different. It's actually a plant, whereas an algae is a unicellular organism. So something like a moss, and it lives in a moist environment, right? It puts out a spore, and that spore floats through the water. Then what happens? No?
They sperm from this and
A spore, so it's a spore of a seedless plant is a tiny structure that is dispersed from a parent plant and can grow into a new plant body. A sperm from one plant must swim through the water to fertilize the egg of another plant. Let's just go ahead.
I mean like another plant.
Another plant of the same species. One contributes the egg, one contributes the sperm.
So there's
They
like
meet.
a female and a male.
No, all plants
But it's
have
seed-
both.
Oh, seeds and eggs are just chocolate.
Yeah.
Never mind. It's a chocolate.
Yeah.
You're actually wrong about algae. Algae.
Let's stay on plants. Let's stay on plants. Shh.
You're
Trying to bring it back to this. So let's go ahead and highlight that sentence. The key takeaway about seedless plants is that they have to live in moist environments because their sperm and their egg meet by swimming through the water. That's obviously not going to be the case for all plants because not all plants live in the water, right? When we think of sexual reproduction of most plants, we think of what we call pollination, right? So someone explain the process using some of these key terms from this paragraph of pollination. How does one plant pollinate another plant? Yeah.
An insect,
Doesn't have to be an insect.
it doesn't have to be, but something gets, it's when it transported to the other plant.
What gets transported? What's the thing that gets transported?
Pollen.
Pollen, right? So in seed plants, sperm are carried in a microscopic structure called pollen. Pollen is the sperm, basically, right? Pollen carries the sperm. Technically, the pollen kind of is the sperm. So pollen is the male reproductive thing. What happens? Where does it go? Once it goes to the other plant? Yeah.
It fertilizes the egg of the mother.
Fertilizes the egg, what we call the ovule, right? So the egg is developed inside of something called an ovule. The pollen goes into the ovule of the other plant, and that's where it fertilizes the egg. So plants do have sperm, and they do have eggs. The sperm is contained in the pollen. The egg is contained in the ovule. So you can go ahead and highlight a couple of words here. We want to highlight pollen. That's the male stuff. We want to highlight ovule. That's the female stuff. And just like with regular fertilization, when the sperm meets the egg, they fertilize. What's a fertilized egg called? Begins with a Z. Word that we barely touched on. Zygote, right? So it produces what's called a zygote. Fertilized egg or a zygote. So we can maybe write that word right here. A fertilized egg or a zygote. Same thing. Develop and form what's called an embryo. These are some of the same words that we use when we're talking about animal development. And the embryo is what will then become the new plant. So the embryo is contained inside of the seed. The seed is sort of what protects. The job of the seed is to protect that embryo, right? That's why the seeds are typically hard. The seed also contains food for the embryo. The seed, does anyone know what the equivalent would be in a mammal for the seed? So the seed is not the embryo. The embryo is inside of the seed. The seed provides food for the embryo, and it provides protection for the embryo. I'm thinking of a P word. Yeah? Placenta? No. Right? So we'll talk a little bit more about animal development later, but when a baby is in the uterus, in the womb, right, they are contained in a sac called the placenta. The placenta is a fluid-filled sac. It provides them with protection. It provides them with nutrients. Another example would be like a chicken egg, right? What's on the computer back there that's so exciting? I wouldn't Google placenta. Get some wild stuff.
Oh no!
In a chicken egg, a lot of the white of the egg is just food for the embryo, right? A lot of that is just food for the embryo. Same with the seed. So the seed is effectively like the placenta. The embryo is inside of the seed. What's the fruit for that? Does the fruit provide, if the seed is contained in a fruit, if we're talking about a pomegranate, does the sweetness of the fruit provide any nutrition for the plant? No, right? It provides nutrition for the animal that's going to eat it, that's going to use it for dispersal. So the only function of the fruit is to attract animals to come and eat it so they can spread it. Yeah.
So, like, say we're talking about like a chicken egg. When you crack it open, there's the egg white. Would that be like the embryo? There's a little white.
The embryo is microscopic usually, but sometimes you see a little like brown thing almost on the edge of the yolk, like a little thing. That's the embryo usually. Yeah. Well, let's stick on this. So the fertilized egg, the zygote, is inside of the seed. The seed is usually inside of a fruit, or if it's not a flowering plant, if it's a coniferous plant, it's contained in a pine cone, right? The seed is contained inside of something else, which allows it to be dispersed. Yeah, so it is sort of like a series of layers, right? So zygote inside of a seed. The seed was the ovule, and then fruit. Cool. And we see a couple more methods of dispersal, and these are pretty straightforward, right? We see these like wispy things, right? And what's probably going to help them get carried away? Wind, right? We see these are sort of stickers. We get some of these in the desert sometimes. If you walk through like the brush with socks on, you might find that they get kind of stuck to your socks.
Yes.
Right? Why? What's their method of dispersal? Yeah. Animals. So if you have like a chipmunk or something, or maybe a bigger animal like a rabbit, walks by and brushes up against these, it's going to get stuck to its fur and it's going to carry it away that way, right? And then a coconut. If you think of coconut palm trees, they usually grow right on the beach, right by the ocean, right? So they'll drop their coconut into the ocean, and the ocean will wash it out, wash it back in on a different part of the shore. Why, we talked about this before, but why do plants want to disperse their seeds and not have them all fall right beneath them? Julie?
When they're not like super close to it, so they can't like throw the stuff they need.
So they're not competing might be the word that we use.
Yeah.
For what?
For like nutrients and sunlight and water.
Yeah, they're not competing for different resources, right? Whether that's sunlight or water or nutrients. Yeah.
Is this for a question or like another reason?
No, I don't want to raise your hand.
Oh, are you asking
No,
what?
I was going yes because you had your hand up.
Oh,
I don't know what you're trying to say.
oh, okay. I was gonna give another reason, but.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, it could also be because they want to try to spread their population as much as possible, so they'll put it in different locations. So.
Yeah, it's sort of like, that's another thing, right? The more seeds, the wider they are spread, the more likely your genes are going to get passed on, right? If a plant made one seed, dropped it right below itself, if a storm came along and destroyed that individual area, that plant's not going to be able to reproduce, right? So when we talk about evolution later, we're going to find that spreading seeds far and wide gives those genes a better chance of being passed along.
So, the coconuts grow out of coconut trees grow out of coconuts.
A coconut is a seed.
So how come when we buy coconuts, they're not growing?
How come you buy sunflower seeds? They're not growing.
Because they don't have the to grow.
Same with the coconut.
But the coconut was growing on the beach.
Yeah, falls on the beach. Gets covered by sand. Grows when we eat the sand.
So does the coconut split apart when the
Yeah, it's just like a giant seed. And then it gives us some examples of asexual reproductions, particularly tubers or potatoes. Right? Has anyone ever had a potato for too long and it starts to sprout little plants out of it?
I planted that potato and it grew more.
Boom, and you had a potato tree, right? So tubers, that's an example of that. Plantlets or tiny plants, plantlets. You might have seen a potato that looks like that. You kept it for too long, right? Probably don't want to eat it at that point. Yeah.
The reason why you wouldn't want to eat it is because once a potato starts growing little tiny sprouts off of it, it starts producing a poison that's deadly to humans.
Oh, okay.
It'll make us go sick.
Whoa, how'd you eat that?
Makes you sick, yes.
No,
Cool.
I want to
So
eat it.
there's your evidence notebook question for tonight. Somewhere there.
More down.
Except there. Flew past it.
It's after that.
Alright, it says that the sacred lotus flower has a large seed pod that eventually dries out and causes the flower to bend over. So, we can start working on this now. We got a couple of minutes, right? So, the flower gets fertilized, the ovule becomes a seed, the seed pod area, the lotus flower doesn't produce a fruit, gets dry, and when it gets dry, it gets heavy, and the flower bends over. Why might that be a good thing? We don't have to answer it. We can just think about it. We can write about it later. But it's pretty obvious, right? If I have my seeds right here, and I go like this, versus like, yeah. For them, so they're not obviously interested in like far and wide, but it does allow them to get closer.
Oh. The yes or no
Cool.
question.
Wait, so what is this for seeds?
I don't know. My hair was.
Yeah, absolutely, right? They go, well,
My hair was thick before, but
flower's only job is to
Well, then,
reproduction.
I guess
So
yes.
flower will die once.
Depends.
Plants,
Use it
but
for
flowers
not
will last
even
forever on
older.
a plant, right?
Oh.
Oh wait, no, that's yours.
Flowers
Okay.
come and go. Oh yeah, I forgot to give you your quizzes back.
Zack
You want your quiz,
Nemec.
we got them.
That's Zack. Bye.